Hello dear students of class 11. Today I am here to share with you few more topics related with mechanics. In my last video lecture, I discussed with you basics of mechanics. In continuation with that video, few more topics will be added today. These topics are number 1, types of acceleration, which we already discussed in last video lecture. Frame of reference, this also we discussed in last video lecture. And different types of linear motion. So number 1, it is type of acceleration. You know, acceleration consists of magnitude as well as direction, and acceleration depends upon velocity. Velocity also consists of magnitude as well as direction. If magnitude changes, we say velocity changing, means body is having acceleration. If direction changes, we say velocity changing, means body is having acceleration. So in the body, acceleration can be developed either by changing the magnitude of the velocity or by changing the direction of the velocity. Depending upon this factor, we have two types of acceleration. Linear acceleration and number 2, centripetal acceleration. Linear acceleration, also called only acceleration, is the acceleration which develops in the body when magnitude of velocity changes. When magnitude of velocity changes, then body consists of linear acceleration, and when direction of the velocity changes, then body is said to be having centripetal acceleration. For example, suppose a body is performing straight line motion from reference point A. It is moving in forward direction. Sometimes crosses B, sometimes crosses C, sometimes crosses D. Whether body is at A, whether body is at B, whether body is at C, whether body is at D, direction of motion is not changing. Here may be velocity 0, here may be velocity 5, here may be velocity 10, here may be velocity 15. Magnitude is changing, direction is not changing. Now body will have linear acceleration. So whenever body performs linear motion, whenever body performs straight line motion, body only consists of linear acceleration, because direction of motion cannot change, only magnitude changes. This acceleration in class 9th and 10th was named as only acceleration. Let instead of straight line motion, we have a circular track. Body starts from point A, sometimes reaches at B, sometimes reaches at C, sometimes reaches at D. Maybe at every point magnitude of velocity is same. Here also velocity is 5, here also velocity is 5, here also velocity is 5, here also velocity is 5. But their direction of velocity will be definitely different. So though magnitude is changing same, yet since direction is changing, body will have acceleration, and that action is called centripetal acceleration. Because such type of acceleration develop only when direction keeps on changing. Why it is called centripetal? Because in circular motion we shared with you that direction of centripetal acceleration is always toward the center of the circular track. That is why named centripetal is given to it. Now, suppose we have a motion in which body is moving on circular path and at different points. Direction as well as magnitude both are different. Magnitude here is 5, here is 10, here is 15, here is 20, 25. Velocity is continuously changing in magnitude as well as direction. Then we can say that body will have both acceleration, linear acceleration as well as centripetal acceleration. Why linear acceleration? Because magnitude keeps on changing. Why centripetal acceleration? Because direction keeps on changing. So, keeping in mind whether magnitude is changing, whether direction is changing, or whether both are changing, we will focus on the numericals based on this chapter. We will think when body will have linear acceleration, when body will have centripetal acceleration, and when body will have both the types of acceleration. Next is frame of reference. That also we discussed with you in last lecture, but still there is some confusion, so we are going to share with you again. When we discuss motion of any body, we assume some frame with respect to which motion is discussed. That frame with respect to which motion is discussed known as frame of reference. There is two types of frame of reference. Number one, inertial frame of reference, and number two, non-inertial frame of reference. Inertial frame of reference, and number two, non-inertial frame of reference. How we define them? Inertial frame of reference is the frame in which Newton's laws can be applied. Newton's laws are applicable. Non-inertial frame is such type of frame in which Newton's law are not applicable. In this frame of reference, a special type of force comes into consideration known as pseudo force. Pseudo force is such type of force whose presence we assume, whose presence we feel, but we don't know from where this force is acting, but who is responsible to produce this force. That type of force whose presence we feel, but if we don't know from where this force is acting, who is creating this force, that force is known as pseudo force. So non-inertial frame of reference consists of a special type of force known as pseudo force. What is pseudo force? I am telling you with the help of some example, and these examples are very simple. Most of the numericals which comes in the competitive exam based on non-inertial frame of reference, in which you have to think a special type of force, pseudo force. Let's see this example. We are in the lift. We are in the lift. We are standing inside the lift. Lift is at rest. As we move, as lift starts moving in upward directions with some acceleration, we feel that we are also moving upward with some acceleration, or the person standing outside will say that you are performing accelerated motion. But the person which is present inside the lift will say that you are at rest. Now the person which is standing outside is saying that you are performing accelerated motion, and you know accelerated motion body performs only when body experiences force. Who is exerting force on the person? From where this force is coming, no one knows. This is the example of pseudo force. When same lift moves downward, we feel that our weight is decreasing. We start feeling weightlessness situation. It means still some force is acting opposite to us. From where this force is creating, we don't know. Example of pseudo force. you have seen a merry-go-round type of jhula in which, like this, with the help of metallic rods, fixed chair remains present and we sit here. As it starts performing motion, we feel that we are moving outward. Who is exerting force on us in outward direction? We don't know. This is also the example of pseudo force. Suppose on platform a box is kept and there are observers, one is standing on the platform, one is inside the train which is moving with constant velocity on the track, one is inside another train which are moving with constant velocity, which are moving with constant acceleration in forward direction. This is observer B, this is observer C, this is observer A. All three observers are seeing the box. For observer A, box is at rest because no force is acting on the box. He is saying that since F is 0, implies that acceleration of the box is also 0, means box is at rest. Very easily applied the Newton's law and said that box is at rest because force is not acting, so acceleration will be 0. The observer which is inside the train, which is moving with constant velocity, will say that box is moving backward with constant velocity. If it is moving forward, he will observe that box is moving backward with constant velocity. When velocity is constant, acceleration is 0, it means force is 0. So this observer also saying that this box is not experiencing any force. He is able to apply Newton's law. Now the person or observer which is inside train C, which is performing forward direction accelerated motion, he will observe that this box is moving backward with some acceleration. The person which is inside the train which is moving in forward direction with some acceleration, he will observe that this box is moving backward with the same acceleration. Now, question can develop. If this box is experiencing acceleration in backward direction, who is responsible to create this force on the box? If there is acceleration in the box, box will have some mass. So definitely box will have some force which will be product of mass and acceleration. So this person is calculating this force. But can anyone tell who is exerting this force on the box? No. Because box is lying on the platform. But this person is observing that it is performing accelerated motion. Accelerated motion means body is having acceleration. Since box is having some mass, means box is experiencing some force. Since no one is able to tell who is exerting force on the box, this force will also be the example of pseudo force. And this is the example of non-inertial frame of reference. This is the example of inertial frame of reference. This is also the example of inertial frame of reference, but this is the example of non-inertial frame of reference. So, non-inertial frame of reference is that frame of reference in which Newton's laws cannot be applied. In this frame of reference, we think about a pseudo force. What is pseudo force? Such type of force whose origin we don't know, but we realize its existence. Clear? Next topic is different types of linear motion. How distance traveled by the body is changing with time, or how velocity of the body is changing with time. If we focus on this particular point, we divide motion into 4 types. number 1 uniform motion, number 2 non-uniform motion, number 3 uniform accelerated motion, and number 4 non-uniform accelerated motion. We are going to discuss these motions, types of motion, in very simple language. First is uniform motion. Such type of motion in which body travels equal distance in equal interval of time. When body travels equal distance in equal interval of time. For example, it is a track, it is a reference point where in the beginning body is present. Body is asked to perform motion. In 2 seconds, body travels a distance of 4 meters and reaches at B. In next 2 seconds, again body travels a distance of 4 meters and reaches at C. In next 2 seconds, again body travels a distance of 4 meters and reaches at D. Since in equal time interval, body is traveling equal amount of distance, so body is said to perform uniform motion. If we calculate speed in this interval, distance is 4 times 2 meter per second. Here also 2 meter per second. Here also 2 meter per second. So we can also say that during uniform motion, speed of body always remains constant. Velocity of body also remains constant. In it, velocity or speed always remains constant. Very simple type of motion it is, and this is very simple example. Next is non-uniform motion. When body travels equal distance in unequal interval of time. Non-uniform motion. When body travels unequal distance in equal interval of time, or when body travels equal distance in unequal interval of time, in both the cases motion is said to be non-uniform motion. Unequal distance in equal time interval, or equal distance in unequal time interval. For example, this is a track, body starts motion from A. After 2 seconds, it reaches at B, travels a distance of 2 meters. After 2 seconds, it reaches at C, travels a distance of 4 meters. 2 seconds, it reaches at D, travels a distance of 1 meter. 2 seconds next, it reaches at E, travels a distance of 5 meter. Time interval is equal, but distance level is not equal. So body is traveling unequal distance in equal interval of time. Or body reaches A to B, travels a distance of 2 meter in time interval 3 seconds. Body reaches B to C, travels a distance of 4 meter, 2 meter in time interval of 1 second. Body reaches C to D, travels a distance of 2 meter in time interval 2 seconds. Body reaches D to E, travels a distance of 2 meter in time interval 1 second. Here body is traveling unequal distance in equal interval of time. Here body is traveling equal distance in unequal interval of time. In both the cases motion is said to be non-uniform motion. Here in different intervals speed of body remains different. If it is this example, in this interval speed is 1 meter per second, here is 2 meter per second, here is 1/2 meter per second, here is 5/2 means 2.5 meter per second. Here speed is 2/3 meter per second, here speed is 2 meter per second, here speed is 1 meter per second, here speed is 2 meter per second. So this type of motion, body's speed differs in different time interval. So when body's speed differs in different time interval, we think about average speed, which is defined as total distance traveled upon total time taken, that we discussed in the last video lecture. So concept of average speed will be used here only, because in different time interval body is having different speed, whether we take the example of this one or we take the example of this one. So we will not say body is having a fixed speed, but body will have fixed average speed, because average speed is the total distance traveled upon total time taken. Next is uniform accelerated motion. Such type of motion in which velocity of body changes in uniform manner. Velocity changes in uniform manner, that is acceleration of the body is constant, is the example of uniform accelerated motion. Suppose body is moving on a track, at a velocity 0, at B velocity is 5, at C velocity is 10, at D velocity is 15, at E velocity is 20, and all the intervals are of equal value. Can we say that in equal interval of time velocity changing by equal amount? Here in this time interval change is 5, in this time interval change is 5, in this time interval change is 5. In all that time interval velocity change is equal. So when body's velocity change will be uniform, body will have constant acceleration, motion will be uniform accelerated motion. In this situation acceleration is change in velocity upon time is 5/2. In this segment also change in velocity upon time 5/2. In this time interval also, in this time interval also. So what is uniform accelerated motion? When velocity of body changes in uniform manner, means when acceleration of the body will be constant, and when body's velocity changes in non-uniform manner. Non-uniform manner means when acceleration is variable, then motion is said to be non-uniform accelerated motion. ऐसे मोशन में बॉडी की वेलोसिटी नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मैनर में बदलती है, इसलिए बॉडी का एक्सेलेरेशन वेरिएबल होता है. कैसे बदलती है? Here velocity was 0, velocity is 5, let here velocity is 12, let here velocity is 20, let here velocity is 50. Though time intervals are equal, but in first 2 seconds velocity change is 5, in next 2 seconds velocity change is 7, in next 2 seconds velocity change is 8, in next 2 seconds velocity change is 30. So when change in velocity in different interval is different, acceleration also in different interval will be different. In this interval acceleration will be 5/2, in this interval acceleration will be 7/2, in this acceleration will be 20 minus 12 8/2, and acceleration will be 30/2. So if body is having variable acceleration, means when velocity of body changing in non-uniform manner, such type of motion is called non-uniform accelerated motion. So when body perform motion, out of these four, definitely one type of motion body will be related with the body. It is not possible that Beside this 4, there will be any other type of X motion body can perform. So dear students, this is all about this video lecture. In my next video lecture, we discuss with you how we solve the numericals based on these different types of motion. Thank you. Please do like, share and subscribe my video channel. Thank you.